If you were born between 1965 and 1980, you're Generation X, and your relationship with money is defined by one word: independence. You're the generation everyone forgets, sandwiched between loud boomers and countless millennial think pieces. But your silence? That's strategic. That's survival. You were the Latchkey generation. You came home to empty houses, made your own snacks, and learned self-reliance before you hit puberty. No helicopter parents, no participation trophies. You watched your parents give everything to corporations. 40-hour weeks turned into 60, loyalty rewarded with pink slips, pensions disappeared overnight. You learned loyalty is a trap. Your adult life has been one economic disaster after another. Early 90s recession, dot-com crash, 2008 financial crisis. You've never experienced sustained prosperity as a working adult, so you built a financial philosophy from scratch. Trust no one but yourself. No one will save you, so you save yourself. Independence isn't aspirational, it's survival. Gen X spending habit number 1. You prefer cash and debit. Credit cards feel like debt, and debt feels like chains. You spend what you have, not what you might earn later. If you have money, you hide it. Broadcasting wealth invites problems: people asking for loans, scammers targeting you, or resentment. Better to look broke and be secure. Your 20s, recession. Your 30s, dot-com crash. Your 40s, the Great Recession. You've never known sustained economic stability as an adult, so you trust no institution. Not corporations, not government, not banks. You watch them all fail regular people while protecting themselves. Your emergency fund isn't optional, it's oxygen. 6 months of expenses minimum, 12 if possible. You need to know you can walk away from anything. You pay off your mortgage early, not because you're supposed to, but because debt feels like chains. You want to own your home outright, so no one can take it. You're not pessimists. You're realists who've been repeatedly proven right. You said the housing bubble would burst. You said pensions would disappear. You were right every time. You invented the side hustle, not for passion or fulfillment, but for survival. Multiple income streams mean, if one disappears, you don't go under passion. You're supposed to retire in 10 to 20 years, but you don't believe Social Security will exist. You don't trust pensions, so you're saving like you're completely on your own. Because you are. You'll spend on experiences, concerts, travel, adventures, but you'll never spend to impress others. Memories matter. Status symbols don't. You teach your kids harsh financial truths early. Life isn't fair. No one owes you anything. Save money, because no one will save you. Some call it harsh. You call it preparation. You change jobs for money without guilt. Loyalty is a two-way street, and you watched it become a one-way exploitation. You'll leave for a better offer without a second thought. You fix things yourself. YouTube tutorials, DIY repairs, learning new skills because paying someone else is expensive, and you trust yourself more anyway. You're skeptical of subscriptions. You'd rather own something once than rent it forever. The idea of perpetually paying for access feels like a scam designed to drain you slowly. You're called the silent generation for a reason. While others broadcast their financial wins and losses online, you keep your money situation private. Nobody needs to know. You're immune to FOMO. Missing out on trends doesn't bother you. You'll buy something when it makes financial sense, not because everyone else has it. You're planning to work longer than you want because you have to. Not because you love your job, but because the math doesn't work otherwise. You accept this without complaint. Your financial goal isn't wealth, it's independence. Enough money to say no, enough money to walk away, enough money that you answer to no one. You're supporting aging parents while still supporting adult children, all while trying to save for your own retirement. You're financially squeezed from both generations. You play the long game. Index funds, boring investments, steady contributions, nothing flashy. You're not trying to get rich quick. You're trying to not be poor when you're old. You know exactly what you're worth on the market. You track industry salaries. You network strategically. You'll leave a job you like for one that pays better, because loyalty doesn't pay your mortgage. Boomers had pensions, millennials have hope, Gen Z has nothing to lose. But you? You have hard-won financial realism built from 30 years of economic disappointment. You've accepted there's no safety net, no government bailout for regular people, no corporate parachute, no family wealth, just you and your ability to adapt and survive. You keep your financial situation completely private. Nobody needs to know what you make, what you have, or what you're worth. Financial privacy is financial security. Silence is strategic. While others post their vacations, purchases, and lifestyle online, you stay quiet. Let people underestimate you. Let them think you're struggling. Meanwhile, you're building wealth in silence. In an increasingly unstable world, often purchased with careful consideration. You, building your plan. You understand credit better than most financial advisors. You know exactly when negative marks fall off. You know how utilization affects scores. You know the game, and you play it perfectly. You're caught in the sandwich. Supporting aging parents who didn't save enough. Supporting adult children who can't afford to launch. All while trying to save for your own retirement. Your parents say we didn't plan for this. Your kids say we can't afford rent. And you? You're working overtime to support 3 generations while your own retirement account looks pathetic. You expect no bailout, no inheritance coming, no lottery win, no rich uncle, no government rescue. Just you, your work ethic, and your ability to survive whatever comes next. And you're okay with that. You're supposed to retire in 10 to 20 years. But you don't believe Social Security will exist. You don't trust pensions, you watch them evaporate. Realistically, you're planning to work longer than you want, maybe into your 70s. Not because you love your job, but because the math doesn't work otherwise. You accept this without self-pity. You're properly insured for everything. Health, disability, life, home, auto, umbrella policy. Why? Because you've seen one medical emergency or lawsuit destroy a family's finances. Other generations skip insurance to save money. You see insurance as buying peace of mind. It's not if something bad happens, it's when. And when it does, you'll be covered. Preparation over optimism. Beyond your emergency fund, you keep cash reserves. Literal cash. Because you've seen bank freezes, system failures, and economic chaos. If everything digital fails, you have physical money. Boomers had pensions, affordable housing, and one-income family viability. You have none of that. You're the first generation in modern history expected to have less than your parents. You negotiate everything. Medical bills, car prices, salaries, contractor quotes. Not because you're cheap, because you know everything's negotiable and most people are overpaying out of ignorance. You do your homework before every negotiation. You know market rates. You know competitor pricing. You know your leverage. Knowledge is negotiating power, and you never walk into any deal unprepared. When you get a raise, you don't inflate your lifestyle proportionally. Maybe you upgrade one thing. Maybe. But mostly that extra money goes to savings, investments, paying down mortgage. You watched people get raises and immediately lease luxury cars they couldn't afford. You watched lifestyle inflation trap people in jobs they hated. You learned, keep your expenses low. Your entire financial philosophy can be summarized. Trust yourself, depend on no one, save aggressively, spend carefully, and always have an exit plan. Because you know how fast everything can. Your signature phrase? Whatever. Not apathy, strategic disengagement. You don't waste energy on things you can't control. You focus on what you can. Your skills, your savings, your ability to adapt. Your superpower isn't wealth, it's adaptability. You've pivoted careers. You've survived recessions. You've learned new skills in your 40s. You've proven you can survive anything. That's worth more. Finally reaching the point where you value your time more than money. You'll pay for convenience now. You'll hire help for things you used to do yourself. Time is the only resources you can't earn back. In your 20s, you had time, but no money. In your 40s, you have some money, but no time. You're learning to use money to buy back time, but carefully, strategically, never wastefully. You look at your boomer parents' retirement and know you won't have that. You look at millennials' struggles and feel grateful you at least got in before it got worse. You look at Gen Z and just feel, while other generations are loud about their financial struggles or successes, you're quietly competent. You're not crying about your struggles. You're just handling your business. Silently, effective. You take quiet pride in survival. You've made it through every economic disaster of the past 30 years. You've adapted, pivoted, persevered. You're still here. Still standing, still building. Your ultimate financial goal isn't luxury, it's independence. Enough money to say no, enough money to walk away, enough money that you answer to absolutely no one. That's the dream. That's freedom. You're not building wealth to buy yachts. You're building middle finger money enough that you never have to tolerate disrespect, exploitation, or toxicity from anyone. Ever again. That's what finance. If you're Gen X, your money habits aren't paranoid, they're battle-tested. You've survived every economic disaster of the past 30 years. Your financial independence isn't a goal, it's armor you've F. You're not the loudest generation, but you're possibly the most financially resilient. Because while everyone else was being promised easy paths, you were learning to survive on your own. So keep doing what you're doing, Gen X. Save aggressively, spend carefully, trust nobody. Depend on yourself. And when this economy crashes again, and it will, you'll survive. Like you always do. Gen X, 1965 to 1980. What's your most Gen X money habit? Drop it in the comments.